Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from LoyMachedo.com. Who is Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? All right, this is episode 4 of Ask Me Anything. And these are the questions that people had asked me, and as I promised you that I would answer each and every one. However, in batches, because there are quite a number of questions. I think there would be another, roughly 2 more episodes, 2 or max 3. I see 2 more, after which I think all the questions would be answered. So I keep my end of the bargain because you keep your end. If you do like these videos or any of my videos, do support the channel because YouTube or Google's algorithms, likes, supports those channels that you give likes, and also where there is engagement. So if you do comment, it'll be great. I like to know your views. All right, so having said that, let's move on to the questions. Timestamp is put down below. This question is by Munir Ahmed, who is 42 from Pakistan. So the question he asks, Loy, what is the monthly cost of living including rent in Thailand for a family of 3? Now, Munir, just like in Pakistan, there are people who can live, per month spending maybe 50,000 rupees, or there are some people who spend 100,000 rupees, or there are some people who spend maybe 500,000 rupees. So it depends from person to person, but I can only give you my lifestyle, our way of living. Now, I would categorize me and my family as living the upper middle class. It's not the lower strata, it's upper middle class or comfortable, very, very comfortable, okay? If my wife would try to stay this lifestyle by herself, it would not be possible, okay? So having said that, to give you an idea, I have broken down the expenses, and I'll share a screenshot with you. I spoke to my wife to get the exact numbers. So this is how we spend. Food is 1,000 baht a day. That is 31 US dollars, 31.84. So we always buy fresh food. I always buy fresh fish. She purchases prawns or crabs. So always purchases fresh food, and we eat from the market. So we spend a little bit more, and we also do factor in. We sometimes go and purchase food from restaurants. Okay, so food is 1,000 baht or 31 US dollars, 31.84. Rent is 333 baht per day. That's or $10. It's $10 per day because we spend close to 10,000 baht a month. Okay, electricity is 66 baht per day. That's $2.1. Miscellaneous. Now in miscellaneous, I factor in, whether might go to buy some snacks. We might go to buy some stuff here and there for the house. So I've just factored in an average. She keeps the expenses, so we're taken at 500. So that's 15.92. Internet is 50 baht a day. That is $1.59. My personal expenses per day is 1,000 baht. I factored in that I make purchases online. I like to buy games. I game online. I buy stuff, technology, things that I like, books, accessories. So, I spend a lot more. The company and visa expenses, that is because I'm an Asian passport holder. Western expats would not have this. They can just come in and, go for a border visa run. They can go to Vietnam and come back, Malaysia and come back. So they don't need this. But me being an Asian passport holder, all Asians, it depends from person to person, but I prefer having my own company. So that's 821 baht per day. So these are the expenses per day. So on a per day basis, I spend around 3,770, or that's 120.3 US dollars. So this is our expense per day to stay in Thailand for a family of 3. Now there's a possibility that this can go up as my daughter grows bigger, but this is what it comes down to. So I hope this answers your question. How much do I spend per day in Thailand? Per day is 120 US dollars, okay, for a family of 3. So now the next question, like, why don't you consider making a video a course about writing a good resume. I have made videos of writing good resumes. However, the problem is these are very generic in nature. They can't take into account all the factors for everyone. It's like how to be healthy. I can tell you how to be healthy, eat good food, sleep well, exercise well, but then, it doesn't work with everyone. So, and you also mentioned this course can sell on YouTube. No, it cannot sell because there are enough and more resume kind of videos online and courses. I find them absolutely garbage. Now, the reason why a resume building video would not help people is because you have every person of every age, of every nationality, of every career, of every leadership level, of every industry and every country. They're all different. So when there are different people, different age groups, different nationalities, different careers, different leadership level, different industries, different countries. And on top of that, you have fresher versus someone who has experience, technical versus non-technical. You have man versus woman. You have extrovert versus introvert. You have young versus old. You have different industries. You have different packages. Like someone who asks for $1,000 a month is different from someone who asks $5,000 a month. Then you have, different regions. So it's not possible to have one resume that fits all these categories. The common denominators is keep it short, keep it simple, make sure that you focus on what the employer wants. These are very generic statements, so they would not help. So that is why I didn't want to make a video. I have put videos for making resumes and interview skills. You can just Google search Loy Machedo resume tips or interview tips or job strategy tips, and this would sum up the most important bits. However, for different individuals, you have to custom make it. To give you an idea, it's like me asking you, can you give one advice that would help everyone in the world? So what would you say? You would just say one thing, but I would definitely suppose that 99% would say, yeah, this is generic. So that's what it is. Then the next question by Munir Ahmed from Pakistan. He asks, how many of the books have you read so far that are visible behind you in every video? There are much more books. All the shelves cannot fit here. I have another, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more shelves outside. Before I had much more than them. I think 17 shelves. I got rid of most of them. Now, out of all the books, I would say I've just read 10% of these books. I buy more books than I can read. And, before I used to read aggressively, but now I do not read as aggressively. I just read when I need the book or if I need the book. Most of the books that I have to read, I listen to podcasts, I listen to YouTube videos, I listen to educational materials. So that is much more easier than physically taking a book and sitting down, because time is of essence. And right now, at this age of my life, at 42, I want to make more money than read a book. So making more money is much more fun than just sitting and reading a book. And reading a book is like reading Wikipedia. It just gives you information. It's of no use unless you apply it. Okay. And then last, if not the least, this question is by Munir Ahmed. He asks, kindly do share some insights about Thailand, its life, monthly costs, rent prices, crime rates, vlogs about Thailand, everything else. See, the thing is, my channel is dedicated to personal branding and focusing on the Middle East. Yes, I do put a few vlogs in terms of Thailand, but they are very few because I do not go out. I do not eat outside much. I like to stay at home. And, if I start focusing on vlogs of Thailand, it's a total different genre. It's a total different effort, amount of work, editing. It's not that easy. And, there are quite a number of vloggers out there who, post all these eating out and happy party life. So there are much more people who are doing that. I don't want to get into this. So I will just tell you this much, that it's not as glamorous or easy as people make it out to be. Many of these Western vloggers or they call themselves digital nomads. They paint a very easy picture. It's not what it is. There are many more challenges than what they tend to show. The most important, like I always tell people, is it's all about making money. If you cannot make money, forget it. And remember this, Asian passport holders have to really slog their ass than Western passport holders. Okay, I hope this answers your question. Then we have a question by Della. So Della says, how can I stay sane working with a loud, obnoxious, narcissistic and racist boss? Well, you can't. The reason being is being in a job with a loud, obnoxious, narcissistic and racist boss, all the bad qualities, is like being in a bad marriage. So no matter what you do, your marriage is not going to be of any good. Your partner is not going to change. So if you're in such a working relationship, it's better you leave. The big question is why you're not leaving. The reason you're not leaving is because you don't have any other option or not getting any other offers. And the reason for that is maybe you're not good enough. So if you focus on being better, I'm sure you'd get much more better options and you can leave. Next question by Della is, what steps can I take to begin my personal brand? As an educational consultant for private tutoring, developing curriculum, training teachers, and ultimately working on government contracts. Now, Della, you have stated building a personal brand, okay, as an educational consultant. See, building a personal brand is one thing. Educational consultant is one. Private tutoring is another, developing curriculum is third, training teachers is four, working on government contracts is five. These are five totally different directions, five totally different things. You can't be good at all of them. Like for example, I've done NLP, which is a pseudoscience in itself. I've done graphology, which is the science of handwriting. I've done life coaching, coactive coaching, career coaching, marriage, relationship-based coaching. I've done courses on parentology, being a good parent. I've done so many of them. I don't mention all this when I am, selling my services because it confuses people. So that is why I focused on just one thing. And the one thing that I do alone is personal branding. So you need to choose first out of all these: education, private tutoring, developing curriculum, training teachers, working on government contracts. Out of this five, which is the one that you want? And the one that I suggest for people to go for is the one that pays them immediate money, immediate, fast. Because the more money you have, the better your chances of putting fuel into the car towards going to your direction. Personal branding, in my personal experience, personal branding is, if you try to do it by yourself, it is going to take you minimum of 10 years. And if you're obsessed, you're really crazy, 24 hours a day, you eat, sleep, breathe, only personal brand, then 5 years. Otherwise, if you don't have 10 years to spend, then get yourself a coach, a professional coach who can evaluate you, tell you what you need to do, what are the steps you need to take, which is the direction you need to go. Because there are a lot of factors. It's like weight loss. Either you can look at YouTube videos, read articles, try experiment by yourself and eventually find out after a couple of years what works, or take the services of someone who's really professional and from day one start doing everything that is right, and within a year's time you achieve what someone would take 10 years. So this is what I would recommend for you, Della. And remember, good things in life don't come for cheap. So if you're looking for cheap, well, Google is your friend. And there's enough and more clowns out there who position themselves as experts. I hope you get the right person. The next question by Della is, what technical skills should we be learning in our spare time to make ourselves more marketable and well-rounded? The only skill which I would tell you to learn in your spare time is learn how to make money. And in order to make money, obviously, people should be convinced to pay you money. In order for that to happen, you should know how to sell yourself. In order to know how to sell yourself, you first need to have a service that people would want. And in order to get a service that people would want, you need to have a need by yourself. Like for example, when I wanted to become a personal brand, I realized there was no coach, there was nobody who could teach this. So I realized this may be a need that other people would want or would have. So I need to maybe have it by myself. And that's what I did. And today, because of the need that I had and I was able to fulfill by myself, I'm able to give this the same address the same need that other people have. So what is a skill that you should learn in your spare time is how to make money. And if you can achieve this skill, trust me, your life will be much better. Last question by Della is personal development practical strategies. Okay, a practical strategy that I would tell you is have a sense of self-awareness. Know who you are, what you want, why you want it, for what is the purpose, what is the reason. Go down to the root from the time you were born and understand what created this need. So that is self-awareness. The second one is realization. Self-realization is what are your limits? You know, people say you can achieve anything. That's rubbish. You can't achieve everything. There are limits to what a person can achieve. Yes, there are one of these exceptional cases who have achieved billions and millions, but if it was a norm, everyone would have done it. So self-awareness, self-realization, and then from there you reach a process of self-actualization where you come to terms with yourself. So what can you do is, I would say, observe, take down notes, study yourself, have an Excel sheet where you observe what you're doing, why you're doing every hour. You know, you take interest in you, and that is how you can be practical in terms of personal development. So you do more of what you like and what benefits you, and less of what harms you or doesn't benefit you. Next question by AJA. AJA asks, how did your personality drop from a shiny, rebellious beam of light to a lessened down version of yourself? Very poetic. How did your personality drop from a shiny, rebellious beam of light to a lesser, more down version of yourself, lessened down version of yourself? Well, age, when you get old, you slow down. Priorities change. Before it was just girls having fun. Now it's family and making money. And responsibilities. Now I have a mouth to feed, I have a baby, I have a wife, I have to take care of them. I'm getting old, I need to take care of myself and my future. So as you become older, you realize you're not Superman. Maturity sets in. Next question by AJ. Why do you constantly make fun of other people? I live in a day and age, or I live in an environment where people are not unafraid to criticize me for bad ideas or things that I do wrong. And if I find something that is stupid or ridiculous, I'm unafraid to point that out as well. So I'm not Mother Teresa, who is, if I find someone who's absolutely stupid and ridiculous, to breastfeed him and say, oh, you're my baby, shitty pie, you shouldn't put this shit on your social media, you shouldn't write rubbish on your CV. If I feel something is plain fucking stupid, I'm going to address it. So I speak to people as grown-up and adults. So if you can't take criticism, don't come on my fucking channel. And in the same way, when I put myself out there, people abuse me, give me left, right, and center, and they don't spare me. So I was born in a very tough environment of criticism, and I'm unafraid to take one. So in the same way, if you're sensitive, you shouldn't come to my channel. You shouldn't expose yourself to me. Keep yourself locked in the four walls of, you know, your mommy and daddy who love you and encourage you. But for me, if I find someone is stupid and ridiculous and idiotic, having the confidence of the gods and the arrogance of the mighty and the ignorance of, I don't know, the most obnoxious human being on the planet, I am going to put that monkey in his place. So can't help it. If you're a fucking idiot, I'm going to call you a fucking idiot. That's as far as it goes. Last question by AJA is, at what age do you think it's appropriate to move out of UAE? Well, I've answered this and I've told people, the faster the better. The reason being is UAE doesn't offer you citizenship, security, and a future. You'll always be a second-class citizen. So if you're not an Emirati, if you're not a Muslim Arab, it's best to get out of UAE as soon as possible to a country that offers you citizenship and a future. However, if you do want to stay in UAE, stay when only if you can save a shitload of money. If you cannot save money, get out. The next question is by Sajid, I think is from Saudi. Okay, Sajid is, do you think India is a secular state? Let me Google and understand what is the definition of the word secular, so I can give you the right answer. Secular state, as per Wikipedia, is an idea pertaining to secularity, is a state being separate from religion or not being exclusively allied or against any particular religion, where a state only purports to be officially neutral in matters of religion, supporting neither religion nor irreligion. Okay, so do you think India is a secular state or a Hindu state? India is run by the majority, by a democracy, then the democracy is voted on by the majority, and the majority are Hindus. So by default, it is, even though it claims to be a secular state, it is more of a Hindu state. And that is why the parties in power are Hindu parties. BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, which is Hindu, and they support Hindu. So there's nothing wrong with that. It is just a Hindu-based country where the majority are Hindus, the political parties are Hindus, the leaders are Hindus. So, so there's nothing to hide in that. So then he says, keeping in mind that the laws passed in the last 6 years and the lynching of minorities, especially Muslims. Well, this happens in all countries where the minorities are of a different religion or different caste, creed, or whatever. This is normal in every country, whether it's in Saudi, whether it's in Pakistan, whether it's in India. So India is, though claims to be democratic, the democracy is run by the majority, and the majority are Hindus, and the Hindus select only Hindu leaders and people who believe in Hindus. That's why the beef ban is there. That's why they kill people who sell beef. That is why the lynching of Muslims. That is why they can break a mosque and all the stuff that Hindus are doing. Now, it's not secular by any means. If you're an atheist and you criticize any religion, well, you are going to be killed, or your property is going to be vandalized, or you're going to be destroyed. So let's not act as if India is a democracy and it's equal to all. Okay, so I call a spade as a spade. So this is what it is. The next question by Abhishek from Chennai. Abhishek asks, I average in English communication. Could you please tell me practical ways to improve my written and spoken English? I find it very difficult to speak in meetings. Well, it's very simple. How did you learn your native language? Let's say, for example, if you're a Hindi speaking person who speaks Hindi, or since you're from Chennai, if you speak, Tamil, I'm assuming. How did you speak your regional language? Your mother and father spoke. In school you studied. At home you spoke. With your friends you communicated. You practiced writing and reading. So in the same way, reading, writing, conversing, if you do the same with another language and you take it as an obsession, that's how you'll improve in English. You can't improve in English if you speak to your friends and everyone else in Tamil and in Telugu or whatever. So I hope this answers your question. The next question by Abhishek from Chennai. I can give you 5,000 to, I think, 50,000 rupees. What service can you give me? I need your help. I don't know. You can have 5 million rupees for all I care. I mean, it's like me saying, I have $100. What can you give me? I mean, what the fuck? What am I supposed to, what service do you want, man? These are stupid questions. You can have $100 million, but if I don't know what the fuck you want, what am I supposed to give you, man? What do you want? Give me 5,000 rupees. I'll give you good advice on life. Hey, it's stupid questions that you ask, my dear friend. The next question by Abhishek is, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I'm a person with a huge sense of innocence. Huge sense of innocence. Okay, that's new. What can I do to overcome it? If you have, like you claim, a huge sense of innocence or gullibility, of lack of maturity is the better term, entrepreneurship is not for you, my dear friend. Entrepreneurship is for those people who have, you would say, unforgiving, cold-blooded bone in their body. It's like you're ready to play office politics. You're ready to stab someone in the back. You're ready to cheat. You're ready to sell your soul to the devil. then you should be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is not for those people who say, I'm so innocent, I'm so sweet, I'm so nice, I want to be an entrepreneur. No, it's better you go into charity. If you honestly ask me, if you have, like you claim, a huge sense of innocence, you better work for an office, a company, do your work there. And if you can climb up the ladder, the corporate ladder, and reach a senior level, then you think of being an entrepreneur. If you can't survive in the corporate world as an employee, as an entrepreneur, you'll get fucked. You'll get absolutely fucked, raped, molested, castricized, and eaten, and your flesh will be spat out by people. Don't even think of an entrepreneurship if you're not ready to sell your soul to the devil. Okay, it's that bad. So I don't know from where people get this entrepreneurship, man. Entrepreneurship is like, you should be ready to even sell your family for cash. It's that cold-blooded today, okay? I'm telling you, that's as ugly as it can get. The next one is, Loy, need videos regarding solutions to complex problems of life which you have overcome while handling customers. Wait. You need videos regarding solutions. Okay, you need videos regarding solutions. You can just Google search. Okay, you'll get, every video will give you a solution, at least a perspective. For complex problems in life, my dear friend, complex problems in life, you cannot get solutions for this through videos. I don't know what's wrong with the new generation. I have this complex problem in life. Can you put a YouTube video? You cannot solve a complex problem in life through a YouTube video. When will that sit in your fucking head? And then you say, which you have come across while handling customers. Handling customers is not a complex issue. Handling customers is very simple. All you need to do is very clearly understand what the customer wants and be very clear what you're giving to them, and have a service level agreement where this is what you're paying me, this is what I will provide you, and this is what I'll not provide. You ask the customer what are his expectations and be very clear, very specific. You paid me this, this is what I'll give you. Is that okay? Yes or no? That's how I deal with customers. When a customer pays me money for a service which you cannot measure, I tell them what I can do, I tell them what I cannot do, I ask them what the expectations are. It's very clear, very specific, and I put my foot down, and that's how you deal with customers. So if you do not know how to handle this, my dear friend, with the questions that you asked, please don't even think of getting into a business. Get into an office, work for someone, be there for the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. When you gain the maturity, then you start going out on your own. Next question by Frost Zen. Okay, Frost Zen, he asks, do you think starting a new retail business for home decoration products in the UAE is a good idea? The very fact that you are asking me about a business that you want to get into for a product that I'm not aware of clearly shows that you should not get into business. When I wanted to get into business, I didn't get in touch with someone I didn't know and someone who didn't know me to ask, do you think I should get into personal branding? My dear friend, I don't know you. I don't know your bank balance. I don't know your capacity. I don't know your personality. I don't know what you can do, what you can't do. I don't know how you interact with people. I don't know any jack shit. And I absolutely do not know what the fuck is home decoration products. Why the fuck are you asking me? I only know about UAE. I can just tell you, yeah, fine, start. So, finished? Does that mean you're going to succeed? If I tell you, don't start, what, you're going to send me a message and, okay, Loy, home decoration product is bad. What about e-commerce? Come on, man. Use some fucking common sense. The very fact that you're asking me about business, when I don't know you, I don't know your capital, I do not know your plan, I do not know so many things, clearly shows you lack maturity. Don't get into the fucking business. And if you're talking of a physical business, today's day and age, it's a bad fucking idea, because any product that you can buy cheap and you can sell for a premium, any Tom, Dick and Harry can do that. It doesn't work. Today, the only product that would last longer is where you customize it, where you add your own creativity and you sell it at a premium. That's the only way it's going to work. Otherwise, no, it's not going to fucking work. Next one. Okay, just to give you an idea, my wife purchases second-hand clothes, which is already used by people. She purchases this, cleans it, makes it, washes it, makes it look good, proper, then stitches, embroiders it, adds extra value of her creativity. Then the same clothes that were just sent to her, as normal, she puts it into a new package, puts it into a new packaging, makes it look attractive, and then sells it. So that adds value. So if you can do something like this, fine. Otherwise, don't fucking get into it. Buying stuff from China and selling it in Dubai, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do that. You will not survive more than 5 years, my friend. Maybe even 2 years. That is also after putting all your money. Maybe you're never going to make any money. So I hope you don't. Next one, keeping the current property market in mind, which is a disaster. The rent of retail outlets is 1 million dirhams a year. Is this a justified price? Absolutely not. Well, people, they assume that they can make shitloads of money. They charge a high premium and nobody takes it. I'll give you a case in point. The house where I'm staying, next door, there is 1 villa, 2, 3, 4 villas. Okay, 4 villas, I'm staying in one. So there are 4 villas. Out of the 4 villas, one is empty, which was just taken for rent for 2 months by some other group. Now it's empty. The other one, it has been empty for, out of the 3 years I've stayed here, it has been empty for 3 years. Okay, 3 years is empty. This one was just taken for rent for 2 months, and before that it was empty for 2 months, and before that one French guy taken it for 4-5 months, and before that it was totally empty. These other 2 houses are very small. They're just taken by her friends. Now, even though it has been empty for 3 years, they don't bring the rent prices down at all. They don't seem to care. And they're charging as much as someone with a swimming pool. So, is there any logic and sense to it? No. But do they care? No. So, what can you do? You can't do anything. Some people are just like this. They don't care. So, this is what UAE's problem is. Some people, they just don't use basic business sense. They think, well, I don't care. So then who cares? So I hope this answers your question. Next one. How to ensure the running of a new successful retail chain. Today's day and age, to run a successful retail chain is come next to impossible. So don't think that there is any secret. There is no secret. You might be able to run a retail chain for a few months, but eventually people get bored. In today's day and age, where people's taste, preferences, likes keep changing, no retail store can run. Levi's jeans, see what happened. Forever 21, see what happened. Giordano's, see what happened. See all these brands. The next generation that comes, they don't care. So, and people today, they might wear it, tomorrow they'll not wear. It'll keep changing. So there's no predictable model as such. So the only way you can run a successful retail chain is if your prices are very competitive, because today a person can check online and find the cheapest prices. He can find different retailers, he can find different suppliers, and it becomes impossible, especially when you have cheaper options and models. So I hope this answers your question. Okay, the next question is by Abhishek, and Abhishek asks, what would be the impact of coronavirus in UAE as a tourist country? Well, initially I thought coronavirus wouldn't have that much of an impact, but the way the panic has set in, the way countries are shutting down, the way they are quarantining people, it's going to be a massive fucking disaster. It's going to be a massive, absolutely massive recession. And Expo 2020 is going to be the biggest disaster that UAE has ever undertaken. The next question. If UAE messes up Expo 2020, which is already, they have messed it up, what does Loy recommend them so that they can improve their situation? But I would say that the only solution that UAE has is do what has worked in the past. In the past, they have made UAE as a haven where you can bring in money and they're not ask you where you bring it from. You can bring black money. Black money is money that is not accounted for. You can bring it there, convert it into white legal money by investing in properties or businesses, as long as you don't do anything that is illegal in the country. That is the only thing that has worked for UAE. They have positioned themselves as a hub for a center point where you can bring in money from the east or money from the west, open up a business and do business all around the world. That has worked very well for UAE, and that I think would continue working well. So they should not focus on being the largest, biggest, baddest, whatever. It'll just explode on their face, and that is what has happened. So I hope UAE goes back to its roots of being a quiet country. Don't ask for too much attention. Don't try to be international, global and all that. It's not going to work well for you. When they were a quiet country, minding their own business, just asking people, invest in our country, we are just going to let you do your own thing, that would work out very well. And yes, if they do focus on gambling, opening up casinos, having, the vices in a controlled manner in Dubai, I think that would really help much more. But then they need to keep a handle on drugs. They need to keep a handle on illegal activity, because that also can get out of control. But this is the only way they can improve their situation. And last, if not the least, a question by Abhishek is, do you think UAE will reach the goal of becoming a successful, self-sustaining economy and country? A place which is safe and prosperous for all as a market themselves? Well, successful, it depends on what your definition of success is, but if you just take it as the very normal definition, successful is a country that has money. UAE does have money, but now it's proving to be disastrous because of the projects that they've undertaken. This metro, this largest building, this bank loans, this biggest port, this Expo 2020, all this will destroy their success. No, they're going too fast, too large, too soon. Self-sustaining economy, self-sustaining is where you create, manufacture, you can feed yourself and take care of yourself. No, UAE's climate does not support agriculture. Its economy does not support industries, so it cannot be self-sustaining. So it's neither a self-sustaining economy nor a self-sustaining country. It's a country that needs you to invest and needs people to keep putting in their money because they can't manufacture anything of their own. So UAE can never be a self-sustaining economy. It can be a country where people would like to invest. It can be a business hub. That it can be. Why? Because it does not offer citizenship. So there's no longevity. Okay? It's as long as you have money, you can be there. When you don't have money, it's fuck off. So when you have this kind of pump and dump, fuck and forget kind of relationship, you can never be self-sustaining. People like to be in a country where there's future, where if I get sick, if I get old, you'll take care of me. Then there is a reason why I would want to stay in that country, where I would want to be loyal and faithful to that country. But when you don't have that, there's no sense of loyalty, there's no sense of longevity in that country. And you have said a place which is safe. UAE is safe in terms of security, but its involvement with Saudi in the Yemeni war has made it not so safe. And now they are moving into bringing a nuclear power plant. That is a very dicey situation. And prosperous for all. See, the problem with UAE is it has focused very much into, we'll take care of the citizens, but you expect fuck you. That doesn't work that way. So now, because they've showed that attitude, people are like, oh, you're saying fuck you to us, fuck you to you too. So it doesn't work that way. So safe, it is still more safe than most of the countries, but prosperous now. It has failed in the new model, business model of being the largest, the biggest, the fastest, the greatest. It has backfired on their face. So that's what I feel. So these are the questions for this batch. I hope this gives you some bit of value. Do support the channel if you feel it gave something of value. Put your comments down below, and this is me signing off for this episode. Take care.